Guys, Henry from Investment for Expats. If you haven't come across us before, we've got over 500 blogs on wealth management and cross-border planning for expats. Now, they're going to go over a popular advisor-led platform that is Ardan International, go over some of the pros, some of the cons, and where it might not fit into your portfolio. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not paid to do this video, and everything is my own opinion, and it will be quite holistic. So just a quick one, who is Ardan? So Ardan is part of the IGFL group. Now this owns other international brands such as RL360, IFL. If you go on their website, which is ardaninternational.com, it gives you all the information. They do a very good job on promoting themselves. Go have a look on that. I won't go into detail into it. They do a lot better job on that element. Basically, it's got protection. It's based in the Isle of Man. In terms of the custody is what you pay the fee for. It's backed by Citibanks and Allfunds. And that brings me on to the next situation, that is the cost. The cost of the platform at the base cost is 0.4% and £5 for dealing fees into normal ETFs. It does get more expensive if you're dealing into other commodities, etc. But just a basic cost of ETFs, it's £5 dealing fees. Some of the pros of Ardan, and this is a feature that I've actually liked this year, and for the past few years, is the model portfolios. Again, this is quite good if, say, for example, for an advisor or for a client of an advisor, they want to be in the model portfolios, they can just change, rebalance automatically. That's a great feature. Some of the ones that have been brought in this year that I think are very good is the fixed rates, particularly by Lloyds. So for those with what you've had this year, as I was talking in 2023, is interest rates go up. With that, you've got higher interest rates, and you can actually get a competitive return that's actually offering more than the banks on a 1-year fixed deposit. You also have 3 and 6 months. That's been very popular for Ardan, and being one of the standout cases for it this year. So again, that's a very good plus. It's backed by a major bank such as Lloyds on that. Some of the other features that I like or potentially use it for as a platform for clients, or clients looking for it as a platform, is it can be used as more of a beneficiary tool, particularly for UK expats. So for example, for estate planning tool platform, this is usually done in kind of offshore bonds. These are usually quite inflexible and can cost, if not used at quite high, if not used at the base cost. So what Ardan's done, and actually quite well, is that it can have a beneficiary option. Not many platforms can have that. So if you're looking for the estate planning option, it fits in there. And also it's got an auto resell. If you're going to a country where, for example, you may be based in the Middle East where there's no tax, you're going back to a country with high taxation, for example, the UK, it can auto resell to mitigate the gains on that. Good kind of little feature to it. So there's some of the pros. I think also the fund selection that it has is fantastic. You can get funds listed on there even if they're not. You can just go can't find asset, etc. Good feature. Probably where it stands out against other platforms as well is that it's got more funds available. So it's not going to make too much difference to your kind of vanilla flavored investor that's just looking to go in passive ETFs. But if you are looking for more obscure funds or stocks, Ardan have it on. So some of the cons that I personally think of Ardan: cost 0.4. The advisor can put in dealing fee spreads. Again, it's all kind of transparent on that, what they can put in. So that's a good element, and obviously the advisor can put fees on, but 0.4 I think it's reasonable, especially if you compare it to UK platforms. If you take out the US, it's comparable to Hargreaves Lansdown, but I do think it's a bit on the high side. What I would personally like to see is it going down a bit more when you get to kind of break points to 500,000, $1 million or currency equivalent, and just see it kind of at the 0.2, 0.25 level. That would be more happier with it. Again, it's not a super cheap platform. It doesn't intend to be. I think it fits more of the tool, like I said before, as estate planning platform instead of an offshore bond on that. So that's some of the cons. The other kind of minor one for me is that the portal is quite basic, but it does a job. But if you're looking for anything technical, like say what you have in Interactive Brokers or even some of the other advisor-led platforms such as Novia, I've spoken to Ardan about this, and it is just because they have such an holistic fund range. New funds get added that they can't go into detail, say as what kind of like Morningstar does on theirs platform on every single fund. It does a good enough job on this. I will say, if you can you can see where your portfolio is invested. Obviously, you can see the main thing, the gains and the loss. It's fine on that, but just a kind of slight con is that portal's not as technical as some of the platforms if you were looking to go into that element. Conclusion of what I would have is it's a good platform for those who are looking to use it more of an estate planning platform and not a super low cost one. It does have good protection. It's won a multitude of awards in the offshore platform, and it's highly recommendable. How does it compare to other platforms? I would try to do kind of apple comparisons with platforms that are advisor-led, such as Novia and Morningstar. I think Ardan has the upper hand on the fixed rates this year, and this has been a good point to Ardan. And the fund range, I think it's the better platform on that. In terms of the cost, I think Novia and Morningstar, sorry, just slightly beat it. It's not a big factor, it's kind of 0.35% compared to the 0.4%, but obviously them two platforms have the breakpoints where Ardan doesn't. That's where I'd like to see that come in. The portal's better on the other two, but where I do think this comes in is more of, like I said, it's more of a platform that can be used in estate planning tools such as your beneficiary, you auto resell, etc. on that. In conclusion, I do think it's a good platform, and any advisor using it rightly at the base cost with kind of low cost ETFs should be happy to have clients in this platform. Hope you found this useful. If you have got any questions, feel free to visit the website or email at info@investmentforexpats.com.